area. Like, don't put it next to an air conditioning duct, for instance. The closed system, someone
Yes.
said, yeah.
As Huldrych says,
Huldrych was
closed
very
system.
wise man
Yes.
there, Huldrych. It is wise to put it inside of an enclosure. Very wise. And we'll tell you that it's not just from a printing standpoint. One thing is it does give off fumes, and they're not necessarily that pleasant. We have the enclosed system, and today we worked on what we would do on, because of the fumes, we were thinking we would scrub the fumes, meaning we would just run it through a little carbon filter and exhaust it. However, if air goes out, that means air has to come in. So I think that the air coming in would probably be room temperature air. And now I've just created a big ugly draft. So we're looking at the best possible way on how to recirculate that. And we have a little design contest tomorrow about that. I think it'll be okay.
Well, let's just say and suppose, guys, that you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and it's the middle of winter, and you're printing in your garage. As we know, it's.
Well, I'm not going to put that much power out.
Well, it's quite warm in Minneapolis, St. Paul at that point.
I know,
right?
but you can't expect us to heat your whole garage with this thing.
No.
Although right now it feels like it's heating the whole room.
So, and that's one of the problems, guys, with ABS actually pulling up is also the temperature gradient of it. So, there you go. Yeoman says, or just make a big bubble over the engine. And we've been thinking about that, but I'm not sure how we're going to be able to accomplish something like that, Yeoman.
It's a great idea. Actually, a large cylindrical open and close, like a 55-gallon drum cut in half with an open and closed cylindrical door, and that's a great project for Mark.
Oh yeah.
We might have the perfect guy to fabricate this.
Oh
for
yeah,
us.
and he's set up to
Let's talk to him tomorrow about that.
All right,
that's a good idea. Not that we hadn't thought of that. I don't want you to think we hadn't thought of that, because we actually been talking to this guy about making us an enclosure for the engine that he could sell as a third party or allow us to carry it and do it. He's a plastics guru, fabricates big cabinets out of acrylics and polypropylene, and unfortunately for him, I think his job just evaporated recently. So maybe that's a good time for us to join forces and do a little American industry there. Cool.
Yeah.
Our
great suggestion, Yeoman.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. So I wish that thing made more noise. I don't feel like it's working hard enough.
Well, we have a question here. We can jump into something completely different.
Shoot it.
William Heimler, you asked me a question this week, and don't worry, June Lee, I'll get to your question in just a moment. William Heimler asked us to comment on another Kickstarter project, most notably. Yeah, I think you know which one I'm talking about now.
The evil scanning 3D device.
Yes.
Fuel 3D.
Yes.
I'd say that they've convinced 301 people that they've got a good device, and truthfully, it's tempting. I mean, if it does what it does, it's awesome. Unfortunately, when they show you what they're showing, it looks to me like a structure from motion. We did a lot of research looking around as we were doing the 3Ds and trying to figure out our...
No, Eagle and Jay, you did not miss the good part.
There'll be more good parts coming.
But we're talking about 3D scanners right
relax.
now.
Yeah, we're just... Someone asked us to look. There's a Kickstarter online. What's the name of that Kickstarter again?
Fuel
3D. And Fuel 3D is for... They have 2 cameras, 3 flashes. They shoot some pictures, and then they get structure from motion is what it looks like. And so it's fast. And the resolution they're claiming doesn't tell you at what distance. So I'm a little bit leery of that, but I have no reason to say it won't work, because there are tons of examples out there already of using the multi-camera image, the stereoscopic, and so they seem like intelligent people, and I think that has a big chance of working.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will work. So
we know that they're using. I mean, heck, even on their own on their own Kickstarter, they're basically saying, "Look, we're using all open source stuff. We're using as much as we can, and there you go." So.
You know what? We're all working on this. Somewhere, it's going to evolve. I think it's healthy. It's really good to have a lot of people trying to make this happen.
Yes.
Because that increases the state of the art. It would be a mistake not to have this competition that's going out there. And really, we don't feel like we're competing with anyone. We are just looking for the best solution. It doesn't need to be something we create in a rubber box in a closet somewhere. We're just looking for the best solution.
But if the solutions that are out there turn out to be less than satisfactory, then
that's not a right thing to say. Not everything's a perfect fit. Don't say it's not good. Don't say it's less than satisfactory.
Well,
maybe it's not the right fit. So, for instance,
okay,
I can get the
fair.
bumper off a Mack truck. It is an awesome bumper, but it doesn't look good on my Porsche. You see what I mean? It's not like it's less than satisfactory. It's an amazing bumper. Believe me, use it on your friend's car. They'll just really be wowed. So I don't want to say negative things about the other guys. What I want to say is we're trying to find a good fit for our printing system because it really is a system. And we're trying to find other things that go together with it. Okay, we've got... Eagle 1J, you're awesome. He wrote, did I miss the good part? Oh, good. And then he put, who are we ragging on? Oh, that one. No, we're not ragging on anyone, okay? We're just saying it looks interesting. We wish them all the luck in the world.
Yeah.
We hope they deliver quicker than us because we are like molasses in February. And we hope that their quality is similar. So there. That's what our wishes are for them. And I hope that this doesn't bankrupt them. I think they're doing great, and based on the hardware, I'd say they're doing fine on the bankruptcy part. So it's more software than it is hardware, and we all know it's just software, and which means that once it works, you can duplicate it much cheaper than duplicating hardware.
You see what he wrote right there?
No.
He says that if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its life thinking it is dumb.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Wow. Okay. Yes, Yeoman wanted to ask about the dual extruder that's on the dual and quad extruder that is on Kickstarter, and we've looked at it. We have. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what's some of the information that's being posted by some of the users on 3ders.org, but supposedly
be careful here.
Okay.
Try not to say anything negative.
I know, but supposedly the information that they have there is very interesting.
You should read the blogs for sure.
Yes.
As far as the technology goes, it wouldn't be my first choice for a way to extrude the plastic from all the mistakes I've made. I feel like Thomas Edison right now. I can tell you 800 ways on how not to make an extruder. So I think that the concept of making a high-density extruding head, I think that's brilliant. You should know we've been fighting for...
Oh, it's been greater than a year now.
Yeah, well, a long time. I was going to say
is.
6 months. He says greater than a year, so you can add them and divide by 2.
It's for the original ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as we change our motivator, i.e. the way of getting the plastic to shove into the fusion chamber, we've had to adjust it. One of the best things about the current design is it actually has a vertically stackable system, which means in the same vertical footprint, i.e. Width, and we're in the same height we currently have, we have the ability to feed 2 independent feedstocks into the same fusion chamber. That could prove to be really, 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 really interesting, and we now see that it's easy to take 1/2 of the print yoke and load in 4 or 6 feedstocks at the same time. No, we're not doing that this week, but those of you guys that bought this printer, I think will be very happy, because I am certain that the dual feedstock print head will be available. I almost said a date, but I know how that turns out. So let's just say it is definitely going to be a hot item for us.
Thanks, Eagle and Jay. So that's next week's goal?
Yeah. No. I mean, all fairness, but the difference is when we see something, yeah, there are details and there are a lot of things to come around. Plus, we do actually have been earning money to pay for this thing ourselves. So, along the way, we've have given it a superhuman effort, and we've been slow. I'm slow, but I think you're going to love the finished result here, and I'm looking forward to my road trip in 2 weeks. Yes. To drop off the first of the printers to people, and also now that we're printing our QC part, we're going to start preparing the engines for shipment. That's for the people that I'm delivering systems. I believe there might be one engine in my little road trip, and then right behind that comes the next batch, and we will start to ship the engines as we field test the first shipping cartons. Yeah. We've figured out a way to get it done, and so at the end of this week, I should have the first shipping carton with the foam, everything. We're going to make a test shipment. If it gets there in one piece and looks solid, off the engine start going.
We want to make sure that we're not going to get a TSA special. So DeCosta, he says, I'm also a background in Indiegogo project, 3D scanner, Matterform.net. They were also on Kickstarter at one point in time. They were very successful on Kickstarter. So if they're working and they're doing just fine, great, fantastic.
What's the triangle deal?
It's he was talking about the Fuel 3D.
Okay.
Because had also said, I don't think you are any slower than any other Kickstarter projects I am involved in. The big difference is you guys communicate on a regular basis. No.
And we appreciate.
Why not?
We appreciate you guys being part of it. Believe me.
Yeah. So.
Just leave that one alone.
Yeah.
We appreciate your comments, Eagle and Jay.
Although he says, I've seen Edison's lab. He has a whole storage area full of random materials that he wanted to try out to see if they would work for light bulb filaments and other things. Yeah.
We have the same here. Mm-hmm. Only we're trying to see what we can print.
Yeah, that's right. He did not invent the light bulb, but he definitely improved upon it and has the patent on that. So.
Well,
meaning
I love
Edison.
I love his batteries. Hey, how about we go back to the print just to prove that it can last for 15 minutes?
Yes, I see a couple of guys jumped in just a moment ago, including Eagle and Jay. We haven't shown you this yet, so
okay. Put on your safety belt because this may not be safe. But oh no, it's still printing.
Give everybody a heart attack. There we go.
Let's get an aerial view.
There we go. Nice. Edison has an electric car in his garage, old as heck. That totally beat the Prius and the EV1 to it. I wonder if that was Tesla beat everybody then.
As you can see, they have a unique way of doing the fill patterns, so I find that to be a little bit interesting. Greg has done some stuff with the firmware that is giving me control that I normally would never be able to do or only dream about. So one of the things that we have is, and I know this is going to drive someone else crazy, what I call the fudge factor. So basically, we calculate the amount of material that's supposed to be down. Actually, Greg calculates it, I guess at it. And then we print. And so after getting a print, if you get a close-up, I don't know if I can get it. You know what? I might be able to shoot through this.
Yeah. Just be careful because...
Yeah, hopefully I don't ruin the print. I'm going to come to the side a little bit. There you go. Okay. No, they can't get the definition out of it.
No? Okay.
It's too bad. Okay, we'll have to get the microscope turned on next. So, anyway, I'm going to go and check the one more thing we're talking about before I forget. Is the...
Do you want me to hook up the microscope?
No. I want to check and show the corners on this so you guys can see what's going on. You notice the corners are staying down really nice. And we would have already pulled off. I can tell you we never made it this far before the secret recipe. Yeah. So it is...
and yes, Eagle and Jay, that is totally the glass build platform. Yes, the removable glass piece.
Really?
Yeah.
And notice there's no raft either. I mean, there are so many little cool things about this. So we just wanted you to see that it can print straight lines, boring, on glass, boring, without lifting off. Exciting. So, here you go. It will continue on its little quest for fire while we talk to you a few more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Okay. And don't worry, guys, I'm working on a second camera so we can switch back and forth without having to take you guys on a roller coaster ride.
I don't know. I think they're enjoying it. Did everybody take your Dramamine?
Oh, wow. Oh, yes, less music. Thank you very, very much. Is there a trip to the Northwest in your future?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And your printer is still in the queue.
Yes.
And it's still not sent, but I think that we should... I'm not going to say anything yet, Les. No, I'm thinking, the reason I haven't sent his printer is for the same reason that I'm holding off on the other ones for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
So, the printer itself, the basic printer, is ready for you. This thing where we were trying to print, I may have to modify the build platform. We'll make that decision tomorrow morning. We got 2 things to do. We think that one of the common things to do is to coat it with a rubberized surface that also acts as an insulator. So we're looking at that possibility. And then we're trying to get a caloric loss calculation so we can figure out how many square inches we might want to cover in the exposed part, like around the skirt. And we're just going to paint it up and see how well it works. The other thing is I've got access to some Teflon paint that is supposed to have better insulating properties to it, so we're looking into that at the same time. So I should have an answer tomorrow by noon, and then I'll know what my trip is for the Northwest. But again, Les, we were planning on shipping your unit to you. Unfortunately, the airfares are really up right now. Otherwise, it would be as cheap as shipping, but it's not. It's a lot, like 2x. The question will be for a lot of you guys is, which printer do you guys end up with? And for that reason, tomorrow we are going to send out just a simple questionnaire with just 5 questions on it. You want to stay with what you've got? You want to upgrade from an engine to a system? Or do you want to go from an engine to a System 30? Or a system to a System 30? And now that we feel confident, and we have 15 System 30 chassis, and we have more than that System 23 chassis, and we have 25 engine chassis, so there's enough to cover almost everybody right out of the gate.
Whatever you guys would like to do.
What we don't want is for you to get something's going, oh darn it, I've been waiting all this time and I didn't get what I was going to do. I was going to do this. We just don't want you to be caught by surprise.
Yeah.
There are 2 other little items, whether you have an engine or a system. Super system, guys, just relax. You can just turn off because I'm putting everything, including the kitchen sink, on a super system.
Yeah.
But there's almost 4 of you guys out there, 5 including Greg, but Greg only counts.
Greg got a super system. He was one of the 4.
Well,
there you go.
Some small number of you. If you got a super system, don't worry. It's coming as a System 30 unless you tell us otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's coming loaded for bear and other Wolverine type animals. The people that didn't get that, there are 2 things. One, the touch panel. We have the 10.1 inch nailed. We've been using it all week. We love the touch panel. We're offering it to the Kickstarter guys for just $50.
Yes.
All right. That's basically our cost. Might even be under our cost, but I love the touch panel. And I'm sweating over the software to make it work better and better with my big finger. What you should know is if you order a touch panel, you can do almost everything with just a finger. But for a while we're doing more and more software evolution and making it more and more touch friendly, you will still want to have a mouse on the system and possibly a keyboard handy in some cases. To just set it up and print, you can do it all with your finger. You can unlock the motors, home the motors, turn on the heat, turn off the fans, all that stuff. One finger, pop, 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 pop. I love it. And
the main thing is dialing in the recipes for the slicing and stuff like that. It's still.
if you're going to slice on the printer, then there are a few places where we got little number wheels. Although even today I was working on that. So we're trying to.
Make it simple and easy.
Make it a true touch interface, and as you guys know, that's different than the classical little tiny checkbox type or a number wheel where you got two little tiny arrows which you can click all day long with your mouse, but can't even get close to with your finger. My finger is the judge because it seems to be the biggest one. It's a 13.5 ring finger. Not bragging, just telling you that's the way it is. So. The touch panel is one of the options. The other one is the rotary table. I can't guarantee anything at this moment to a guy who's got an engine. I'll tell you what our plan is. We have in development two things. You've all seen it, but you know what? I'm going to run out and grab it. I'll be right back.
Okay. Very good.
I think it's right here.
Do you need help, or are you good?
Do you know where the
All right, guys, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I do. Hold on. Ja, gut.
Sehr
Okay.
gut.
So gut. Okay.
You know, if that print goes all the way through, we have to ship that machine.
What? Oh, yes, that's true.
Okay, so you guys have already seen this a bunch of times. I'm just showing it to you again because
Reference.
and they understand what I'm talking about. This is the rotary scanning platform. It has a direct drive motor mounted to the bottom of it. Has a simple cable. The cable plugs into a connector that is optional on the front arm on engines and on systems. If you want us to include that on your engine or your regular system, it's $50. And the reason for that is I got to disassemble the whole thing, and I mean a whole thing. We got to remachine it. The cable itself is nothing. I'll give you the cable. I'm not worried about that. But we're talking like 3 hours of labor for each machine. And again, that's just Davo working cheap and hard and making it happen for us. So the point is that we have something else in development. And that's a rotary, what we call in the CNC world, a fifth axis. So think about this as something interesting. How about we take a glass rod or an ABS rod and we put it in a chuck which we can rotate. And now we can spin and print the reverse of a lathe. So it works like a lathe but in reverse. I have no idea what you want to use this for. But it sure seems like something that would be fun to build certain shapes with. Just leave it at that. Yeah. Like suppose I wanted to make a gear that was amazingly consistent in those teeth. The long way of the axis. Yeah, I could actually print a bottle. That's right. And so I feel like this is something that has to be made. It's not an option. So it should just drop on your build platform. You should be able to do some pretty interesting stuff. And who knows what materials are coming out. We got the polycarbonate you can print on. You've got nylon. The guy who's doing the nylon seems to be like rocket ship. He's doing great stuff. He got the FDA approved nylon. It prints at low temperatures.
2 types too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's good stuff. I'm just saying that I have a plan to make a small lathe-like attachment that sits on the X bed. Now you've got the ability to go back and forth, you know, the corn cob, and also the up and down. And
DeCosta said, Talman, yes, I have been using it.
Very nice.
Excellent.
I'm hoping he had good success with it. What temperature, Duckestead, what temperature did you, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, your column sign. What temperature did you print at? Someone says they've been using the nylon, so I'm very curious. 235.
Okay.
Now we got to order more of that.
All right.
That's perfect. That's right where we're operating.
Write it down.
That's right where we're operating.
Mhm.
So, good stuff. Very nice.
Okay.
Sorry, I blanked
Wow.
out.
235 to 245 on my up plus.
All right.
Excellent.
So we're looking forward to that. These are the two options that we will have out there that you'll know about: the rotary plug-in and the touch panel. Now, for the guys that got an engine and wanted to upgrade, you just check on the checkbox, and the engine to the System 30, you can do that. And then there's one other small checkbox which some of you guys may want to opt to.
Well, it's not just a check. There is a cost associated with going from one to the next.
Oh yeah.
It's not just.
No, look to the right hand side. There'll be a dollar sign on it.
Yeah.
And again, I feel bad, but I mean, obviously not everybody was able to order what they wanted necessarily. So, I mean, we're not doing this to try and get more money out of anybody for no reason at all. It is just for whatever the promised upgrade cost would be.
Yeah.
It's not a 5x multiplier in there, I assure you.
No. It's the Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is only good for Kickstarters. Anybody else who's watching, you got to go talk to Hutch. You got to beg with him, because we are only being loyal to the nth degree to those guys that have been staying with us, helping us, being patient with us, and being
Yes.
kind to us. So.
Well, there have been a few who have actually upgraded their pre-order from post Kickstarter order from an engine to a system.
Okay.
So
And they got a
and
good price on that, so that's fine.
they did. So better. It's much better than what the final list price is going to be, but it's still not as good as the Kickstarter. So there you go. So yeah, as the cost it says, yes, he did. So there you go.
Don't feel slighted. We're looking out for everybody, but
Yes.
you can understand someone that's been with us for 9 months has a special place in my heart.
Mine too.
So, where's he located? Is he in California?
L.A.
LA.
LA Basin.
He's one of my next trips. I just wish the Maker Fair in New York was another week later.
Yeah. So.
I just went, me too. Oh, got it. Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm not sure I'm shipping any dual yoke systems to anybody but Greg right now.
Yeah.
Can I be candid? I'll tell you why. Because a dual yoke system really needs to be deeper than the one it currently is at. Yes, you can print, and yes, you get a nice print window, but there's not enough dead zone in there to pull back. You lose too much space. If everything was vertical, it'd be different, but with the current design, and I see more and more designs doing that, I really want like 18 inches of space left or right. On the system, it's no problem, because we have a lot of support on the outside. So just want to pull that front yoke out of the way and be able to print freely with either of the yokes, getting a full 8 inches of build in the y-axis. And so there you go.
It is confirmed, guys. We will be going. We did get accepted to the Maker Fair, the World Maker Fair in New York. So, which is September the 21st and 22nd. As for, and this comes up from another one of our backers. Brian has asked us if we're going to be going to the Mini Maker Fair in Orange County, which is August the 17th, which is this coming Saturday. It's very, very difficult. I'm not sure 100% that we'll actually be able to make it out there. Although we did get accepted, because I went out there trying to get access to that, so that if we were shipping by this time, we'd be able to go out there and do the show and also deliver a few printers as well. It's rather difficult at this point in time. Although he did say if we wanted to display a demo unit, he can put it on their on the table.
Oh, they're going to be at it?
Yes, they will be. So if anybody needs anything printed right now, I would suggest you guys go to thingify.net That's a nice little plug for Brian. He has been absolutely amazing when it comes to this kind of stuff, and he's actually helped out a couple of the people here in Atlanta who have been looking for us